Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of Elpa Podcast. No pressure, just better English. I'm Leon, your host for today, and I'm so glad you're here. Before we dive in, Emma, how are you doing today?
Hi, Leon. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. And hi, everyone. I'm Emma, and I'm really excited to kick off this journey with all of you. Our goal is to help you learn and use English more naturally, just like how native speakers talk.
Awesome to hear that. So, today we're tackling something that seems simple, but often causes big confusion for English learners: prepositions. Specifically, we're going to break down in, on, and at, three little words that show up everywhere.
Exactly. And we'll not only explain the rules, but give you examples, common mistakes, and some cool tips to help you remember them for life. So let's get started.
You know, I've taught English for years, and I can't count how many times students have asked me, why do we say in the morning but at night? Or why is it on Monday but in January?
Oh, yes. And don't get me started on the British versus American English thing. Like on the weekend in American English versus at the weekend in British English. So frustrating, right?
Wait, can we talk about that for a second? Why is there a difference between British and American English when it comes to prepositions? And is it a big deal if learners mix them up?
Great question. Honestly, a lot of the differences come from how the languages evolved separately. British English tends to use more traditional phrasing, while American English is a bit more simplified. Like we say on the weekend in the US, but Brits say at the weekend.
So, if someone says the British version while speaking to an American, or vice versa, it's still okay?
Absolutely. Native speakers understand both. It might sound a little unusual depending on the region, but it's not a big deal. It won't confuse anyone or make your English sound bad. It's just a matter of style.
That's comforting. So learners shouldn't stress over choosing one or the other. Just stay consistent, right?
Exactly. Stick to one style, either American or British, and you'll be totally fine.
All right, let's begin with in. We use in for enclosed spaces and longer general time periods.
Think of it this way. If something surrounds you, like walls, or if it's a bigger block of time, in is your preposition.
Exactly. For time, use in when talking about months, years, or parts of the day. In the morning, in April, in 2021.
And for places, in the kitchen, in a city, in a box.
Here's a quick example. She lives in Paris. Or we'll meet in the afternoon.
And one thing to remember, in can also be used metaphorically, like in love, in trouble, or in a good mood.
That's true. So in isn't just for physical spaces. It can describe emotional or abstract spaces too. Next up is on. This one is mostly used for surfaces and specific days or dates.
So for time, here's how you'd use it. On Monday, on June 15th, on my birthday.
And for places, on the floor, on the table, on a page.
Public transport can be confusing, though. We say on the bus or on a train, even though we're technically inside.
That's a great point. It's because we imagine those things as platforms or surfaces you travel on. So it's on the bus, on the subway, on the plane.
Also, we say on the phone, on the radio, on social media. These are surfaces of communication in a way.
One of my favorite examples. There's a stain on your shirt. Can't get more surface level than that.
Yeah, so let's not forget on time versus in time. Different meanings, but both useful. Now let's look at. This preposition is all about specific points in time or space.
Yeah. So for time, we use at with specific moments. At 7 a.m., at noon, at midnight.
And for place, it often means you're at a fixed point. At the door, at school, at the airport.
A useful comparison is in the restaurant versus at the restaurant.
Exactly. In the restaurant means inside the building, while at the restaurant means the general location. You might be outside waiting.
Here's another one. At the office. That just means you're working. In the office might mean you're inside your manager's office or a specific room within the office.
Right. So at the office means you're at work, not necessarily inside a particular room. In the office means you're inside the physical office space or room.
It's a subtle but important distinction. Like, I might say, I'm at the office when I'm in the building or just working in general, but I'm in the office if I'm physically sitting at my desk.
Exactly. Same with at school versus in the classroom. One is about general presence, the other is about specific location.
So even though they're all little words, these prepositions can really change the nuance of what you're saying.
Totally. And that's why it's so important to understand not just the rule, but how people use them in real life.
Before we wrap up, let's go over some common mistakes English learners make with these prepositions.
Good idea. One mistake I hear a lot is, I was on the kitchen instead of in the kitchen. Remember, on is for surfaces. You're not sitting on your kitchen unless you're a cat.
True. Another one is at Monday. It should be on Monday, since days use on.
And also saying at 2020 instead of in 2020, years take in. So here's a quick tip. Think of in as the container, on as the surface, and at as the point.
That's a great way to remember it. All right. Time for a mini quiz. We'll give you 5 sentences with missing prepositions. You try to guess, and we'll give you the answers after a short pause.
Ready? Let's go.
All right. Here are the answers.
How did you do? If you got 4 or 5 right, awesome job. If not, no worries. Keep practicing and come back to this episode anytime.
Thanks a bunch for joining us today. We hope this episode helped clear up your confusion about in, on, and at.
And remember, practice makes progress. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we learn.
We'll be back soon with another episode. Until then, keep learning, keep speaking, and keep having fun with English.
This is Leon and Emma signing off from Elpa Podcast. See you next time.